Hey guys, I'm back and today I'm going to be doing my quarterly favorites for March of 2024. I am really excited to talk. I have a couple of makeup products and then a couple of other lifestyle, just personal things that I've been really enjoying. So without further ado, let's hop straight into this video. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is something that I got for Christmas and it is so stunning. It is this Dear Dahlia their liquid eyeshadow in the shade Muse. It is so beautiful. It has a pink tone, but it really has kind of this clear base that catches the light in such a stunning way. It's really nice to kind of spread lightly all over the lid. I've worn it probably more than I've worn any other glitter in the past like 6 months. And yeah, it's just super easy to apply. I really like it. I've been trying to like use my liquid and cream shadows since they go bad more quickly than powder eyeshadows. And this is just so much fun to incorporate with looks with my other Project Pan products I'm working on right now. And it is just stunning. I'll link a get ready with me kind of reel below where I used this. And yeah, it's just so beautiful. Then the next is a product that I was influenced by Hannah Louise Poston to purchase. This is the Exa High Fidelity Color Corrector in the shade green. I had tried color correctors in the past and honestly hated them. They were just too green. They I would put them on and then I'd cover it with foundation and then I felt like I looked green rather than looking red, or they would be kind of patchy, so I would look red in some areas and then green in others. This one blends out so easily and it has kind of almost like a neutral beige-ish quality to it, so that when it blends out, it does look a little bit green. You can see like where I've blended it out, but it's covered by other makeup so easily. It also mixes in with other concealers and foundations really easily, and it does a great job of color correcting. It also doesn't look too cakey. It's really easy to thin or sheer out. And yeah, I've just been really liking it. I didn't know how I was going to feel about it, but I had just been noticing that I was applying a lot more foundation because I was trying to cover up a lot of the redness around the center of my face, especially if I was getting ready to go out to dinner or see some friends and I had worked out, showered, done all of those things. My face, even hours later, was really red. And so I decided to give this a try and I have been really liking it ever since. Then something I just kind of like threw in a travel makeup bag on a whim because I was trying to limit the number of brushes that I was bringing is this Nude Sticks Nudies Glow All Over Face Highlight in the shade Bubbly Baby. This is, I mean, the shade, they have a pretty good shade range, so if this shade isn't for you, I would still encourage you to look into it. But the formula is stunning. It doesn't fully set, like it doesn't turn into a powder, but it also is just really thin and has like a slightly tacky quality that melts into the skin really well. I put it on my cheekbones, brows, tip of the nose, and then I'll usually highlight my inner corner with it. And even over powder blush and the powder that I use to set my under eyes, it blends out flawlessly and you can see it has this kind of like almost wet effect. I wore this to work, and people who I was working with and people I was just running into were complimenting my skin, telling me I looked great. And at that time I was in like a really dry area and I felt like my skin had just like sucked all of the moisture out of it, and this made me look like I had drunken all of my water and I wasn't dying on the inside. So this definitely saved my makeup and it just made me feel really pretty, and having other people compliment it definitely helped. So this is definitely something I've just been keeping in my travel makeup bag. It's really easy to just a couple of taps and I feel like it is so natural when I actually apply it. Obviously right now I'm wearing a much glowier highlighter, but makes my skin look so dewy and just hydrated and lovely. So those are the 3 makeup things that I wanted to talk about, and then a couple of lifestyle things that I wanted to touch on. The first, I talked about this a little bit in my learning to do my hair first episode, and this is a coffee creamer. Don't judge me. This is the Chobani White Chocolate Raspberry Coffee Creamer. This stuff is so good. I will lay in bed and think about how excited I am for my coffee the next morning because I think this is so good. I love like white chocolate or chocolate raspberry flavored things. And so February is usually when all of those things come out. This is a limited batch, so I don't know how long this will be around, but if you haven't tried it and you also get excited around February for these kinds of flavors, it is so good. And then we also got their caramel macchiato one because we thought we'd try other ones, and it was also delicious. So these coffee creamers, I also just like Chobani as a brand. They've been committed to some like company values that I appreciate, and so I don't mind paying maybe a little bit more for this that's delicious and kind of aligns with my values versus maybe another coffee creamer. Then the next thing that I wanted to talk about is the A Court of Thorn and Roses series. I am reading the last book now. I'm going to try very hard not to spoil anything. If you really, really, really don't want spoilers, just skip through. But this book was recommended to me by a friend. I read the first one at the end of December. I may have mentioned it in like a get ready with me, or I definitely talked about it in my book roulette series. And then I have read the other books in like 2 months. They are thick books, mind you. These are it. I think the A Court of Mist and Fury was like 23 hours that my Kindle expected it would take me to read. I listened to 2 of the books as audiobooks and read 2 of the books as Kindle books, and then I'm working on the last one now, which is kind of like a spin-off. It's not necessarily a continuation of the main plot points of the first 4 books, if that makes sense. So it kind of focuses on different characters. All of the books so far have been really good. Is it the most like perfectly written? The characters are perfect. There's no critiques. No, it's a little spicy. Yes. The first one's not very spicy, and then as it gets on, I think the writer got more comfortable throwing things in there for us. So honestly, some of the scenes I just skipped through because I was like, I'm bored. I don't care that much. Usually I don't do that in books, but some of them are just a little long. And then like Julia Quinn in The Viscount Who Loved Me Long, that was a long spicy scene. Anyways, so because they were kind of long, some of them I skipped through, but if that bothers you, you probably won't like it. But if you enjoy books that, are a little morally gray sometimes, nothing crazy, and it's kind of, I would say, an approachable fantasy. The world building isn't so complex that you have to constantly reference the map and learn like 400 characters' names in order to understand what's going on, but it's still fun and whimsical, and there's magic, there's a lot of different kind of beautiful picturesque scenes, and so it is really fun read. And yeah, I haven't read anything that was this fantasy since like high school, just because I kind of fell out of it. I got into like the vampire novels phase in high school, read some fantasy. I loved the Percy Jackson books in middle school, and read some things like that, but I just haven't gotten into anything like this in a while, and so I thought it was really fun. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is more of a fitness thing. I've reviewed 2 of Caroline Girvan's programs on this channel before, and I can link those down below, but I did want to talk about a new program that I had been following. If you don't like programming, I completely understand. I just like the structure. I don't like having to think about what I should be doing over the course of a week. And it just, I like the structure. So over Black Friday, I decided to purchase a Natasha Ocean program. She's a YouTuber. I will link her website down below. She has come out with a couple of programs. In each program, there's this big PDF that it comes with that talks about the science and the understanding, like the different research that she put into each program. She's got one for home. I picked the hybrid one, which is running and gym training. The only thing that I would say about her programs is, one, they're very hard. I wouldn't necessarily call it beginner friendly. I think she has a beginner specific program. And two, they expect your gym to be pretty well stocked. Like, my gym doesn't even have all the things that she expects us to have sometimes, but if I am traveling and using the hotel's gym, they don't have all the things that I need for her workout. And she usually provides substitutions, but depending on where you live or what you have accessible to you, it might not be the most accessible. I would recommend watching her video that she made for each of the programs, where she talks about what the program is, gives you an example of a workout for it, talks about kind of the main purposes of it, why she set it up the way she did, and gives more details to determine which one's the right one for you. That all being said, I did really like it. It's much more approachable than some of the other ones. It's 5 days a week. If you miss one, you miss one, and you do 4 days a week and you move on. So I really liked that about it. The app is really easy to use. It's built on the Athlete app platform, which I really enjoyed using, and it's really easy to track your progress and reference, how much weight did I use the last time I did this exercise, and did I write any notes about it? So the first time, like day one, week one, I came home and I was like dead. I was not anticipating. It took me like 2 hours to finish the workout. So again, I think she has one that's meant more for beginners, but I think that personally I've seen a lot of improvement in certain exercises, especially my bench press and my lat pull downs. I'm working towards a pull up. So seeing the progress in both of those was really uplifting for me, even though I took a couple weeks break in the middle, and then getting back into running. Her structure for how she sets up the runs is really approachable, I think, for most people. And over the 12 weeks, you start kind of small, you build up, it pulls back, you build up again. So that is kind of my general thoughts. I don't really feel the need to make a standalone video about the program, but I would say if you've tried other influencer or workout programs, you don't want to commit to coaching because coaching is just really expensive, but you are interested in doing something that has more structure, this could be a good option. The other thing that I like is you can redo it as many times as you want, and there's, different things that you can focus on each time you go around. So I will be restarting this program tomorrow. I finished it yesterday, and I just am excited to continue to see progress and hopefully work towards a pull-up this year. That's one of my goals. Yeah, that is everything that I have for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have an incredible, awesome day wherever you are, and that I get to see you in a future video. Thanks, guys.